Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 where we are building our very own mega city. Now in the last episode guys, things have progressed quite far. We've now extended and expanded our food industry. We implemented an additional town and started feeding these 3 towns with food to slowly grow them. What that does is it provides more destinations for Falls Town to travel to, which has increased its public transportation up to 130%. And I think that number is slowly rising, as you can see right there, as all those areas and cities and towns slowly grow. Which has given us a target population as of right now, 1,350, wait, I can't even English right now, 1,350, which hopefully we can expand even further. Now, we've got many plans we've got to do, and before I decide to utilize the editor to slowly start increasing the numbers in which the city can grow itself, we need to get a few more infrastructure in place before the city goes on a big boom. Now, what I want to do today is I want to take this line to which we have 2 cities currently on. We're going to add a 3rd one here, a 4th one there, and a 5th one here. So this line will have 5 cities on as it travels to and from Falls Town. Not only will that increase the amount of public transportation destinations, it should bump up maybe an extra 30%, which will be really handy. But the point is so I can then connect the road leading all the way down to each one of these cities, which will then increase our private transportation numbers. Now, you might be thinking, well, Sonic, if you're allowing them to drive to these cities, will they no longer use your public transport? Yes and no. Only a small percentage will choose to not use public transport and drive, but it doesn't make much difference. We're not going to see a dramatic dip in people traveling. They would rather travel, but by having a road, we not only increase the public transportation numbers with having our line connected to the cities, having the road increases the private transportation as well. So we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and also set us up nicely with expanding this industry over here to supply more goods. So this line here will be what is going to determine the other lines and the city's growth. So while I get this set up, boys, if you are enjoying this series so far and want to see more, then make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Right, we're going to delete it there, and I'm going to delete it here. I think that's all I need for the length of the train station. I'll probably delete... We'll delete 1 more just there and just see what happens. So, the train station in question that I've been utilizing has been this one. But I think I've been doing the 240 length, yes, with 6 tracks. And then we utilize the middle track to connect to there, the middle track to connect to there. And that's where we're going to have our 2 additional cities just there for the moment. And then we're going to quickly throw in an additional one just here as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big, huge cities that we're going to implement this line to really increase numbers. Now, we're probably most likely going to need more trains. That's a given. Oh, hold on. That's not actually in the right section. I just realized this. Delete you. Delete you, boys. Because that line comes in on the bottom one. Because technically, that's our cargo line. There we go. Right, we're all good. We are all good. So only that one had to be changed. Right, let me get the tracks all hooked up. Now, oh, I just realized I haven't upgraded the train tracks. Seniac, you noob. Right, we'll do that anyway. So that leads into here. That leads into there. That's all good. This comes into there. So sort all this out. That is all okay. It's just this part here now, isn't it? Yes. So you're into there. You're into... Oh, hello. That one went a little bit weird, didn't it? Let's try that again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, we've got to break this down. We don't need to do the crisscrosses until the final area, which it has it there. We don't need crisscrosses anywhere else on the public transportation line because it goes up to there, then it comes back. But it's no longer going to be using those. It's going to have to use ones that come from this station, as this is now technically its final station. So run you in. And, oh my goodness me, there's now too much of a slope. Let's not go down this road, okay? Let's not go down this road. I'm going to have to delete the road right now. Oh my goodness me, you fools. Right, let me get the road back in. And it needs to be that road. All good, all good, all good. And then run this all the way down. So that goes into there. And then we'll sort the crisscrosses out just here. And that's where they'll then utilize those crisscrosses for the public transportation, which I can get rid of these ones, which I'm going to get rid of them. And I'll get rid of that signal because we're going to kind of now redo it all just to reposition everything. Now, last thing I want to do is quickly upgrade these to high speed. It's only the cargo that are really going to benefit from it. But then again, no, it's only the cargo going to benefit from it. But I'd rather it all be high speed, just so I, you know, killed that bird with that stone. If you know what I mean, boy. Right, there we go. Right, sweet, sweet, sweet. I can then extend the cargo run, so I can feed all these 3 new cities with the food coming from our food industry, thus to grow them more to make more money, even though it doesn't really matter. But growing them builds up the population and creates more percentage growth for Fool's Town. So extend this as well. So this is actually a bigger job than you think, theoretically. And maybe this is why we should build all the stations in one before we place down the cities. But now we know what we've got to do. We can do this moving forward. Now, because it's cargo related, we have to do crisscrosses on every one, because every station is an end route for every train that comes to that city. So that's how we've got to treat it. We've got one there. Now, we don't have any... I'm about to say we don't have any signals set up for the majority of it, but that's because I've literally only just put the train tracks in. Right, you go there. And then you go there. And let me just now sort out the signals. So I won't do auto signals just yet. You go there. They're okay here. Now, this is where we... Oh, no, we don't have any signals here, do we? So if I implement one there, and then one there, we'll do one in the middle. So I'm doing these ones myself. Just want to manually set it all up. Because we can have a multitude of trains now traveling down these lines. So it's good that we get this set up now. Right. I don't think I need to worry about the middle bit, but you just never know. I know it's a bit funky. You just never know. I feel like we still need to. So I'm going to implement one there. And then one there. And then we've got one there. Put you there. And then put you there. And yeah, we've got to do this side as well. So there. Oh, no, that's the wrong way around. There. Okay, so that's now all in. Let me just quickly sort out the train line that runs through this. So manage the line. It gets to South Sea. Right. Or is it Upper Falls Town? No, it's South Sea. Wait, hold on. Does it? Oh, no. Tor Point is the end route. So it goes Tor Point, South Sea, Upper Falls, back to South Sea. Then it goes to Tor Point, which we have to get rid of the tracks here. So I was going to make sure that on South Sea, Tor Point here on the right side of the tracks. So that goes there, that comes in there. But then after that Tor Point there, it goes to here, South Sea. But it already goes to South Sea. I'm already confused. I'm already confused right now. I'm already confused. So it starts in Tor Point, goes to South Sea. Wait. What? Let me delete you. Let me delete you. So starting Upper Falls, which is over here, we'll bring it back naturally. So it would first go to here is where it would go. Do you know what? Let me just do this after. Let me just do this after. Because I'm going to mess up all... I don't know if I'm going to mess up all the station names or not. I'm not too sure. So let me just implement all of this in right now. Now, each of these stations do need a cargo platform. So I'll put it both sides because we're eventually going to have the construction materials making their way down here. So that will do us just fine, right? We do have buildings on the very edge because we are kind of technically maximizing our space. And if I do that there and there, just to compensate, so I get to keep the same gaps leading around. So I've kind of gone a little bit over the top here. You don't need to do it like this, but I've kind of gone a little bit over the top. So, but the main thing is, though, at least we've kept our cargo and passenger lines separate. That is the big thing out of all of this. I'm just going to replicate that there. I don't need to do it like that, but I have. That's done, and then just this one here. And then we can rest easy, boys. We can then rest easy, he says. He says. Right, get these all... Oh, I didn't get the platform in, did I? Bam, bam. Right, there we go. There we go. So, next then, we're going to get the road in. And I'm going to actually utilize the road that comes from the other towns, because it's the same thing with this. If I do the road connections, it increases the private transport, which then that allows us, theoretically, boys, that allows us then to have these towns also grow as well. So if all the towns grow, it makes them bigger, which then creates more transportation for Falls Town, thus growing Falls Town. Right, that goes slightly off-centered, which is really... There is like a slight deviation. So if I just bring that to there, and we have to kind of play around with that deviation slightly, but that's okay. Run this all the way down. This should be fine. There we go. So run that across, and I'm just going to see if I can get that slight deviation in. Right. It's a bit annoying, but it's nothing to worry about, okay? It's because the track did slowly start to turn that we kind of lost it. But that's okay. I'm going to quickly just do the remainder of these little road connections right now. We'll do this one. No, we'll do it pretty close. I think that's not going to harm us that much. Or do I let the city choose it? I'll let the city decide it. Just to see if something a little bit different happen for us. So, let's build these cities then. We want super large, the biggest we can make it right now. Food, construction material. And then we go, bam there. That's our first one. Bam for our second. There we go. And then our final one just over here. Right, all 5 cities are now there. So we will feed the 3 new ones with new cargo coming in. That wouldn't be too shabby, mate. That wouldn't be too shabby. And I think looking at it, I feel like this line here needs to actually technically go on the outer side for the cargo for the food, and the construction materials need to go on the inner side, as that then runs straight down to that industry. Oh no, because the food then would have to kind of crisscross. No, we'll keep it as it is. And the construction material can come that way, and then they'll go under and pass through that way. I mean, either way, they're going to have to crisscross at some point. So I suppose it doesn't really matter to its, the full extent. Right, this line anyway, where was we with this? So let me delete this, and we'll start again. So Upper Falls, we add a station. Actually, I'm going to delete all of it. and start again. So I'm going to have a fresh start. So into here. Very good. And then into there. And then running down into here. Ooh, that's on the wrong side, isn't it? There we go. Coming down to here. And is that the last one? No, there's one more to go. Now, at this end one here... Wait, do we have 2 South Seas? Why is that also classed as South Sea? Is that where I was getting confused? Why is that one classed as South Sea? I don't know, but we understand it's not going to cause us any pain or issues. And then we head back. So on the way back now, it should technically connect to all. And then it makes its way back down, which is all good. Right, we do have an issue, which is a train, no electric path. Oh, are we missing electric path? Tools, electrify. Or is it just the train having a little bit of a moment? Let me just double check. There is. Yeah, there is all electric path. Sometimes if you turn that train around and then put it back again, there you go. It's all back to normal. Right. We're now back to normal. We're now back to normal, and now we've got additional towns on the line. Now, Foolstown had a private transportation... No, sorry, not private. Public transportation of 130. It's now starting to grow. This number should skyrocket, and this 130 should go a little bit higher. Now, while that does what it needs to do, we're going to create some new cargo lines. So we're going to go from here to here. And in Foolstown down here, we get them to use both sides. Another one there. Oh, hold on. You know that one I just created? Where did I just put it on? Let me just make it pink. Oh, I'm an idiot. Right, it's got to go there. This one there to there. And then that Foolstown utilizes both of them. And then from there to here. La-di-da. La-di-da, boys. Now, it's not really that efficient, this, okay? It's not really that efficient. Oh, no. Where's this one on now? Why is it chose to go over to there? You should be on number 1, fool. You should be on number 1. It's not really that efficient, these cargo lines, but I'm not kind of needing them to be on the ball every time delivery. Bam, 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 bam. It's not what I'm trying to attempt. So there might be some hold up here and there, but there will be no jams. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. They should be able to do what I need them to do. So that cargo train, just seeing what it is right now. What is its capacity? It's 100. Okay, that's fine by me. So we've gone down the... Did we go electric or diesel? We went green train, which is diesel, right? Yes. Cargo with the boxcars, 100 capacity. And I need 3 of those. So, 1 on line 22. 1 on line 23. 1 on line 24. There we go. So now we've got 3 more consumers for this side of the industry. So these numbers should slowly start to grow. They don't really have enough food being or grain being delivered right now. So that's where we need to start thinking about at some point increasing the size of these trains. But we'll see how they get on first. We'll see how they get on first before we do anything. There's lots of room for expansions anyway. So, we're going to need more trains on the public transportation line. So if I manage this vehicle now, I'm going to actually duplicate the amount that we do have. Where do they pull them vehicles out? They pull them from out over here, don't they? Them trains. Yes. So they're now all up and running. And what has that done to Foolstown? Now, we haven't really given it much time. But already, it's grown by 20%, those numbers. Right, remember, it was on 130. Now, we're going to look towards connecting all these towns and cities up via a private transportation connection. Now, this is also easier said than done. Okay? I'm going to just run. Whoa, why are you going uphill? It's trying to snap to the train line. That's what it's trying to do. If I just run this down here, as it would naturally just go in this direction anyway. And then same with this. Okay? Some point, one of these roads will bend round. Now, do I connect it to the... I know the outer one's probably a little bit more straighter. So if I brought this out a bit more... What else can I bring out here? I've got a road... Oh, hello. Let me get into it. That's here. This is probably the road to utilize. If I'm being honest with you. And then bring you up. I'm just going to connect it how I see fit. Nothing crazy. I just want to do a very, very simple connection. Okay? Very simple. And before I do it, right, 60%. Not saying that they're going to utilize it, but this will give them the ability and trick the city. That is the world's worst bend, isn't it? How did that bend just even happen? I mean, even that's the world's worst bend as well. Does it matter, boy? Come on. Come on, boy. Does it matter at this point? There we go. So what that allows us to do, that little connection there, means that Foolstown, they can now drive a vehicle directly to any of these 5 cities, which theoretically now we should get, and it is starting to increase, the private transportation numbers will then go up. Now, the only downside to this is where we then start to see a bit of traffic. Because now, all of a sudden, people can spawn their own vehicles and drive. I think we've already got a vehicle right now heading all the way out. There it goes, boys. There it goes. It's a long drive. It's a long drive, you know, might add. And vice versa for all the other cities. So that then gives these guys private transportation. Now, you can see from this city, it gives it a plus 90. Now, that's already been connected to them 5 cities longer than what Foolstown was. So I wonder what Foolstown's going to increase to. Now, I don't know if there is like a limit. There's a radius to how far it can go before it registers, well, before it stops registering private transportation. But we will see. We've got our destination numbers up to around 160. So we've increased that by 30%. But that's still growing. That's still going up right now. So that's going to be really interesting to see where it kind of bottoms out at. Now, lots is going on. Lots of people have been transported, transferred, moved around, all that jazz. We're going to be creating a lot more goods over here. So, do they still need... We're going to have to up the size of these trains, aren't we? So, we have 6 trains. We're going to replace them all. It's easy to replace than edit every single one. They've got a 200 capacity. We're going to give them a 300 capacity, and I might change the actual engine on it to electric. Right, we'll go with... I'll go with this one. I mean, money doesn't matter to us, because I can always edit to give me more money. Not like I need it anyway. But replace all those. Bit more pulling power, and an extra 100 capacity on the trains. I've just upgraded that train before it even left. Yeah. So I've got to see what's going on. Now, we need to sort out these signals. So the signals are over there. It's a little bit too far away, I think. I'm going to throw in one there and then one there. Just have a little bit of a closer signal as they leave the area. Just so it then forces the next train to come out. So hopefully that little back and forth right now would feed these factories with a bit more. These are okay because they don't really feed many places at the moment. Because I haven't got all the other areas set up. So that's now good to go. And off it goes. Another train coming in. But we are more worried about feeding these for a moment, which will then cause these to upgrade. Right, let it carry on. Let it carry on. That's got 100% on the private transport. What's Falls? 70% in Fallstown. Wow, 170 on destinational growth. So this is how you naturally grow it. Without me editing anything right now, like to do with Fallstown, like the editor here. This is how you naturally just grow the city. And it is starting to sprawl as far as my current bus lines technically are going to be taking us. So this is really good. This is really good right now. This is natural growth. If you can determine it natural growth. It's artificial how we've kind of built everything else around it. But the town is naturally growing very slowly. So these numbers are still increasing, which is glorious. You know, amazing. As the city grows, the supply numbers will increase. And this is just a percentage based on the overall what it demands. So we've got to keep that supply going. So let's now take a look at the construction materials, okay? Now, we need to set up more of this. But we've got to change how this kicks in. Or have we already done it? No, we haven't, sorry. We need to replicate what we did with the food area, which is slightly annoying, but it's the only way I can do it so it can start feeding the cities. And what we did is we changed the line coming in from Fallstown from the outer line to the inner middle line. And then we've got to do that with the construction. Bit of a pain, but it allows me to have a better run, as you can see what we've currently got right now, to feed these cities. We actually need more trains on this line. I'm going to duplicate another 4, and that should hopefully be enough. Damn, we're starting to see a lot of people now. So that's increased by 10%. That's increased by 40%. That is pretty good going. It is pretty good going, isn't it? Oh my goodness me. Okay. Keep it going, boys. Keep it going right now. We're about to transform a lot more. A whole lot more. Right, first things first, then we've got to change this bend coming in to the middle one. Okay? Which is going to mean I need to delete, and we'll delete it from here. And we've now got to do the painstaking task of running all the way down. So by placing the construction line that delivers to Fallstown in the middle, it then frees up my outer line, which we run those lines to the cities that we're going to build in a line, just like what we've done with the food run on those 5 cities. You know what I mean? So run this all the way down as well. Hopefully we don't miss any. There we go, we missed some. Let me zoom in a bit more. The more you zoom in, the slower you kind of zoom across the map. Right, okay. So if I then deleted, because I want to get it on the bend. Alright, that's going to cause chaos with my current lines. There's not a train on that side, but there is a train there. So we'll have to switch out that one at some point. Now, hopefully, we don't have any issues with running that in. The speed limit remains the same. That's all we really care about. That is all we really care about. So we'll do it from here. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. That is all done. So now we get our trains. Train line, sorry. That runs into there, no issues. Maintains the speed limit, even though it will never reach that because it's cargo trains. It's just nice to know we have the possibility. And then just implement the signals that I've now just deleted. Bam, bam. And there's... oh, there's only one there. And then here real quick. Oh, no, no. Replace. There we go, bam. Bam. Right, magical. We got double signals. I think that's the auto signal when I implement it in. I kind of slightly messed it all up. Right. That line now in question, which is not this line, it's this line. Manage it. So in Fallstown South, we actually want it on number 3 and then utilize 3 and 4. Okay. And then in the Fallstown transfer, we want it on number 3. And it works on 3 and 4. So back into play mode then. That now, I mean, it might cause an issue at some point, but it should be okay. I know this is stuck there, but this will now come out and then turn to go onto this route. Actually, it won't. What I need it to do is go there. Then there you go. Now it makes it go back out. Right, glorious. So we've now changed that, which is very vital for feeding these towns with the construction materials. But before I do anything, we're now going to add in more industry. So we need the stone quarries, I think they're called, right? And we're going to place... And this might be a bit difficult. I might just actually first build the road. Just so I can see where I've got to place them. Oh, there we go. Easy. So, 1. Now, how many did I do for the food? Because I want to try and match it. I did 6 either side. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. 6 either side. Now, I think these might be slightly easier to do than the farms. There we go. There we go. Bam. And... well, bam. I think I've done it. I think I've done it. Right, run these down. So 6 to begin with here. Should be more than enough. Bam. Bam. Bam, bam. Right, that's done. But that only benefits this side. I've got to do it now the opposite way for it to, you know, make sense. So do the same here then and flip this right round. Bam. Bam. And let me build the road here first. Running down, running down. Is that a different style? I just realized that's a different style road, isn't it? What road is that? Oh, it's this road, isn't it? Damn. Too late now, boys. Too late now. Alright, there we go. In. Bam. Bam. Right, I'm going slightly off here. So let me just rejig this one here, because that one's now thrown my alignments. I didn't get close enough. I think, anyway. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. So connect all these in. Right, there we go. So we now have an even amount either side. Just like we've got the farm industry. But we don't feed enough cities yet. And we don't feed any cities, I'm being completely honest with you. Don't feed any. So what we'll eventually do is, yeah, we have it coming from over here, right? We'll eventually set up probably a secondary train station there that will then run all the way down to feed the big row of cities there and vice versa coming back. I don't think it makes sense to utilize the same train line to also have trains run and get caught on every single stop to then pass to join onto this. I think we'll keep them slightly separate, just to make life a little bit easier for us. Now, there is a lot of food already over here wanting to be distributed to these places, to these cities, which is actually really, really nice to see, the amount of demand that we've got. Now, a lot of it is going to go to waste. So I'm wondering if I can kind of configure this to add in a few more cargo buildings. So they hold 80. So by holding 80, it means it increases its kind of holding capacity by 80 every time I place one of these in. Which really, truly does benefit us. So we have a bit more room before these numbers start to go blue and we start losing goods. But these cities are going to get hungry. They really are going to get hungry. How is Falls Town now doing? Wow, 180, 80%. That's increased. That's definitely increased, guys. That's definitely increased right there. Ooh, damn. Okay. Okay. So without me building any other cities on these lines just yet, we hopefully should start to see, once we give these time, more stone being placed on the platform and then more construction material being then produced. These percentage numbers are going to have a dramatic effect on the size this city now grows. Look at that. 1,500. That's the achievement in the game, is to grow a city to that size. And that's when the developers think that's a challenge in its own. And my target population is about to be that shortly anyway. So very good. We've increased that by 50%, the public transportation, building 3 new towns. We have increased this by 20% just by physically connecting up a road, which a fair few vehicles are now using it. But I don't know whether we're going to start seeing mass amounts of traffic. We'll probably definitely get loads of traffic leading down these roads. But I don't care about those. I honestly don't care about those right now. And I don't know if you'll see much traffic leading into Falls Town right now. I think it's so far that the cars are so spread apart that I don't think we'll notice much of a difference. If I'm being completely honest with you. I don't think so. Them skyscrapers are looking absolutely fantastic right now, boys. Absolutely fantastic. So the question would be then, what's stopping me from now editing these numbers to allow them to go to the next stage? Well, what I think I want to do is I want to build a secondary station on each of these lines that lead out. So if I go for this one, for example, because we've already got the junction in. We've got one there. We'll then build one here, okay? So that means when the city grows to over here, we've got a station there. Then we can have, right, we've got this bend coming round. That will also stop there and then lead into this. And then lead out this way. To the secondary station there. So we've also got a little back and forth there. And then with that station there, I can build another loop going around the edge. So I can kind of preempt where I want the stations and platforms. As long as I build the grids, which will take me some time, obviously, I can then pre-build where I want the stations to be. And then start to edit numbers and watch the city slowly grow. My only concern would be is cargo. Because as the city grows, my cargo station becomes ineffective as it's no longer able to reach all the individual parts. So that's where we can implement trucks to reach all the little nooks and crannies. But also we might need to think about eventually building a secondary cargo stop a bit further out. It depends on where the industry grows. I have no choice and I can't choose where the industry grows, unfortunately. That's the city's idea. So that is probably what we'll do next episode, is start kind of building more of the grid network and then start placing in where I want the stations to be. Slowly start to build up my train network and layout. Then we can start thinking about editing the city's stats for it to start to grow. it's increasing even more. And that's only down to the fact that these cities here are also growing. I mean, if I check the city stats now, in terms of size, I'm meant to be growing Foolstown, but Banbury? Who allowed you to grow this big? It's kind of funny, isn't it? We are going to also... Indirectly, we're also going to create a bunch of mega cities that we're not meant to be creating, but that's only to support Foolstown. Foolstown will always be the biggest one that we've currently got. So there we go. 90% here. That's grown by 30. That's grown by 60. Yikes. And we are now... We're going to the moon, boys. We're going to the moon right now. Very good. Very good. This is really interesting, isn't it? It is really, really interesting. Right, we'll end it here, guys. We've got a lot of work still to do. Next episode, then, what we'll do is, now we know that this works, setting all this up, I don't want to do the other 3 lines just yet, solely because that will cause Foolstown to grow even more. I want to kind of quickly be able to build my train network with additional stops and stations, another outer loop, and extend my bus line before I give them the green light to go, because I don't want to have to build it and then delete buildings and then wait for it to kind of then grow back. You know, I'd rather build it than say, okay, now you can expand, and then they'll catch up to my infrastructure. So the idea is build the infrastructure, then let the city catch up to it as I then start adding more cities and towns all on. Wow, this mega city is going to be ridiculous. It really is. It's growing very nicely. Very, very nicely. Apparently, we've got a little bit of... oh, not very poor and very good to very good station. My stations aren't the greatest, apparently. How do we know if they're good or not? How do I tell if a station's good or not, guys? Do I need to increase my budget of some sorts? I'm not too sure how I go about knowing. But anyway, boys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash that like button down below. Until next time, I see you all soon. So, goodbye.